A Ruined Cottage by Letitia Elizabeth Landon. Oh, there is a deep, sweet feeling in the human heart which makes life beautiful amid its thorns. None would dwell in that cottage, for they say oppression reft from the honest man, and a curse clings to it, hence a vine trails its green weight of leaves upon the ground. Hence weeds are in that garden, hence the hedge, once sweet with honeysuckle, is half dead, and hence the grey moss on the apple tree. One once dwelt there who had been in his youth a soldier, and when many years had passed he sought his native village, and sat down to end his days in peace. He had one child, a little laughing thing, whose large dark eyes, he said, were like the mother's she had left buried in stranger lands. And time went on in comfort and content, and that fair girl had grown far taller than the red rose tree her father planted her first English birthday, and he had trained it up against an ash till it became his bride. It was so rich in blossom and in beauty, it was called the tree of Isabel. It was an appeal to all the better feelings of the heart, to mark their quiet happiness their home, the garden filled with fruits and herbs and flowers. And in the winter there was no fireside so cheerful as their own, but other days and other fortunes came, evil power. They bore against it cheerfully, and hoped for better times, but ruin came at last, and the soldier left his own dear home, and left it for a prison. 'Twas in June, one of June's brightest days. The bee, the bird, the butterfly were on their lightest wings. The fruits had their first tinge of summer light. The sunny sky, the very leaves seemed glad, and the old man looked back upon his cottage, and wept aloud. They hurried him away, and the dear child that would not leave his side. They led him from the sight of the blue heaven and the green trees into a low, dark cell, the window shutting out the blessed sun with iron grating, and for the first time he threw him on his bed and could not hear his Isabel's good night. But the next morn she was the earliest at the prison gate, the last on which it closed, and her sweet voice and sweeter smile made him forget the pine. She brought him every morning fresh wild flowers, but every morning could he see her cheek grow paler and more pale, and her loud tones get fainter and more faint, and the cold dew was on the hand he held. One day he saw the sunshine through the grating of his cell, and Isabel came not. At every sound his heartbeat took away his breath, yet still she came not near him. For but one sad day he marked a full street through the iron bars that shut him from the world. At length he saw a coffin carried carelessly along, and he was desperate, who forced the bars, and he stood in the street free and alone. He had no aim, no wish for liberty, he only felt one want, to see the corpse that had no mourners. And we set it down, our earth was lowered into the new dark grave. A rush of passion came upon his soul, and he tore off the lid, and saw the face of Isabel, and knew he had no child. He lay down by the coffin quietly. His heart was broken.